to here. Does it work? Can someone
I'm gonna find out.
can someone check?
I'm
Oh
waiting.
wow, it's loud. Yeah,
It's loud.
it does. No, it's good. I just had it loud.
Okay, is it
Somewhat working.
echoing?
Seems to work.
No.
Wow,
Oh my
no
goodness.
intro, no
It's good.
penny drop.
People were complaining that my intro's too long.
Professionals. Look at us.
Awesome.
Wait,
Okay.
we're
What the-
live?
X on Discord that says like YouTube and stuff.
Oh right.
I didn't even know we were going live yet.
Yeah, we're live. Where's Bob?
Oh, we're supposed to drag in Bob Smith?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Bob Smith.
What? I didn't even know Bob Smith wasn't down here. Does he have permissions to talk?
Yeah, I can talk.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is first of all, I look terrible, but that's okay. I haven't been seen in a while, and I didn't make my reaction videos to the 2024 because I've been so sick. And I apologize in advance if I cough in your guys' ear, but it's going to happen. But there's a lot to talk about.
There is.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Those
try and
days.
do as little talking to start as possible. I'll give my reactions, don't worry, guys. But one by one, I guess we'll start off with Wonderland's announcement today on the Whitewater water slide. It's a boomerango, something like that. That's what it's called, right?
That is correct.
Boon. I don't
It's a Whitewater West Boomerango.
All right. So why don't you guys one by one give your thoughts on it, and I'll give my thoughts.
All right, I'm going first.
Okay.
I saw this comment on the video. Who has 5 friends that they can go with? I feel like it'll be weird because, like, sometimes if you're like riding Whitewater, for example, it has 6 seats, and you're a group of 4, and then you get partnered up with 2 random people. I feel like that'd be weird, but other than that, it seems cool. I like the colors. I hope they transfer the area, like make it all look good. But there, that's my opinion.
Jasmine.
Oh, okay.
I like that they themed it like to. I can't remember the details right now. I'm having like midnight brain, but I do like the way they've themed it. I like the way they've themed it to the Frontier Canada type of theming and to something specific that actually ties into like, you know, real world stuff. Sort of like, sort of like what they're doing with the whole Yukon mining, all of that. How it kind of like is like a fantasized version of real world stuff. And I hope that because they're mentioning in Moosehorn, thanks guys. I hope that because they're getting into the specifics of its theming, that that means like the area around it is going to get spruced up with some theming as well. But I think it's a good addition to Splash. I think, you know, it's another slide. We need it. Like, I don't really have that much to say about it. I'm not that partial. Like, I will probably ride it when I go. Good point though about like needing 5 people. Are they just going to throw you in there with strangers if you don't have 5 people? Is that how this is going to work?
I hope not. I'm antisocial.
Send me alone. I usually go to parks alone, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But that's a good question. But yeah, I think overall, because we do have a lot of families and stuff, it's a good addition. My favorite part about it is the theming element and the hint that that means they're going to like expand on that into the water park more. So
Yeah. Zach.
Okay, I think the theming is cool. I like the name. I like where the name comes from. For me, I think if they group you with people, I think that's fine to me at least, because some of my favorite times in parks are being randomly grouped with people on like raft rides. You kind of have to have a conversation with them now. It's always kind of fun, but. Yeah, I think I probably won't ride it. I don't go to the water park, but for people who do go to the water park, I think this is pretty big for them.
Sorry.
Ryan. Is Ryan like
he just floated out of the ether.
He just approaches.
I really like this edition. Also, I apologize for being in complete darkness. My house is having issues. I think Moosehorn Falls is an utterly incredible name, and people are complaining about like Top Thrill 2 and like what is it, Dorney, the menacing steel iron. It's
Iron Menace.
clear that Cedar Fair's entire naming team put all of their effort. Yes. They put all of their effort into Moosehorn Falls. It's an incredibly vivacious name. I love it.
Ryan, your internet is
If
struggling.
it's going where I think it's going, possibly between my
Bro is on the EB Games McDonald's
that-
Wi-Fi.
that's a
It was fine a minute ago.
Ryan, we might have to wait till your power comes back on.
Bro he does not have power until.
It's fine now that you've stopped talking.
no. You all disappeared from me now.
You're struggling. We can't hear you.
He's on Wonderland Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. This is an interesting one. Bob, I'll give you
Hold your cameras out for a second.
Ryan, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to mute you.
Okay.
Uncalled for.
Bob, oh my god. Why don't you give your opinion about this water slide?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting addition. It's a family addition to the water park. I know Wonderland had a lot of body slides. Was their most recent slide attraction that got added. So it was a family attraction that was due. This is also a relatively high pace attraction, which is untypical for Wonderland's current slide choices. They have the 2 drop capsule slides that were the recent addition, and now they have a 0G wall, which is typically one of the highest thrills you'll get in a water park before you go to a full water coaster. And you see that they're going to be going for theming in the water park scene, which is a trend a lot of parks actually in the industry have been going. So it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to take it from here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so a lot of people are asking me who Bob is.
I love Bob.
Bob is a Amusement Insider's source in the community. We'll word it that way. So you guys are very lucky to have Bob in this live stream right now. So if you guys have questions about the industry, not about the rides you see in today's presentation, but yeah, if you guys have any questions for Bob about industry stuff, Bob would be a really good person to ask some questions for. So you guys are really lucky today. You guys are getting some pretty exclusive Amusement Insider source activity on today's call. So that's why he's named Bob in here. But yeah, okay, so my reaction. I have a couple thoughts. After talking with the park today, I don't think they're fully done announcing everything for what do you call it, 2024. I think there's going to be a few other things. Obviously, it looks like some of the entertainment. Wonderland's a park that kind of announces entertainment closer to the opening of their season. So I do think the drone show should be a 2024 edition, but that I do not know. But I think that the park still hasn't finished, and I think that's going to center around 1, a Behemoth paint job, and 2, a Wild Beast refurbishment by Gravity Group. So those would be my honest 2024 what's coming predictions. The reason I don't think Wonderland announced Wild Beast is I don't think people care. And maybe we can get your guys' thoughts on that. But do you think if Wonderland was like, hey, by the way, we're refurbishing all of Wild Beast, do you think the media in Canada would have, like, in America, people were kind of excited for that? I almost thought that would kind of like be a negative thing for Wonderland to admit here. Like the media here would pick that up and be like, wait, so you're telling us you have to refurbish your entire like wooden coaster from like scratch essentially? And two, would the guests actually care? So like, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I think the guests here wouldn't care at all.
I feel like it would be kind of like what you're saying with the news. The news would be like, this means that all wooden coasters are unsafe because they have to fix it. And that's totally how it would go. I feel like from a guest perspective, yeah, I doubt they'd really care either. Wonderland has kind of built this have kind of created this reputation for Canadians that wooden coasters, every wooden coaster in the world sucks. And that is the reputation wooden coasters have here because of Wonderland. So I doubt people would care, really.
Yeah. The other thing, and I think a lot of you, if you go back and look, Wonderland has a history of building just a water park edition before a big coaster. So you already know that I've told you guys that Wonderland's getting a massive coaster in 2025. We've been saying that for over a year now. So I think this is the... If you're one of the people who truly don't like to believe what I have to say, I think this is your proof right here. This is another trend that Wonderland typically does, is their water park investment and then a big coaster. So for those that may still have doubt that 2025 is a big coaster for Wonderland, I would say that what you saw announced today is your final, like, what do you call it, proof for 2025. Would you agree, Jasmine?
I think so. I mean, to answer the first question as far as like would people care, I feel like only if it was enough of refurb / redo of some sort that you could bill it as like a new version, then yeah, they'd care. They'd be like, oh, something new to ride. But if it's just getting like a really solid refurb and retrack that it's needed for some time, I don't think they would care. And I agree. I think it would be best not to mention it because it's very like gossipy news cycle around there that I think you guys are right. They would pick up on and be like, me, this ride was unsafe, and here's what people are now saying may or may not have happened last season or whatever, right? Which, we don't need. So I think if they're not announcing it and they are doing it, then it's, probably for the best. But it would be cool if they were doing like a whole new version. Someone in this chat was saying Son of Beast. That would be awesome, but I don't think we would be getting that and a major addition again right after. So I think it makes more sense that they're announcing Splash as the like main thing, because it is kind of the main thing as far as what they're going to advertise. What was the next question? I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
It was about Wild Beast and then about the water park edition before a massive coaster, like Wonderland's track record.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they like to do that on like a down season, which is funny because we were complaining that they haven't done it in so long, but I think they were on like a flat ride binge and a retheming of Frontier Canada binge for a while. But it makes sense that they'd be back to that cycle of like, okay, just throw in a water slide. But Splash does need it, so I think that's why I kind of like didn't feel like it at first. But now that you mentioned it, I was like, oh, that's true.
Also, like, it is just a rendering, but like, hello, these look like Florida flowers. Like, how is Wonderland gonna plant all this? Like, you see that?
Look at the bench. You see the bench?
Yeah. Well, Wonderland's not actually gonna put that there. It's gonna be a rock. And we'll sit on that.
It'll look like that for about 1 week in the spring.
I hope it looks like that. They've already started construction, guys, so I have a construction update for you guys coming tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on when this ends. I'll get that edited for you. But yeah, they dug ground on the water slide already. Well, they started digging ground on the water slide. And then, you know what sucks, though? You know what really upsets me about this is... one, like, the dark ride. Like, where is this dark ride? Like, there was someone high up at Wonderland that left, and it was Yukon Striker Media Day, and they told us, like, essentially I've already told this story so many times. They told us everything that was coming, and they told us about Action Theater, and they were like, you're going to see that develop into a dark ride, and it's going to be, like, really soon. They told us about, Lazy Bear Lodge. That came true. And the focus and everything they said came true. But this dark ride and action theater. So it's just like, has that actually been buried? Like, because now I'm really starting to think that that was a plan and COVID killed it.
I think it's time for you to let go of this.
No!
I'm just saying, listen, you could say you predict a dark ride enough years and it's going to happen eventually. You'll get it right at some point. But I do honestly feel like that this is a plan that has been shelved.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm being petty.
I know.
I refuse to let go of it though, because I'll even just to picture a Sally dark ride, like a good Sally adult, shooting dark ride that works, No shade to Wonder Mountain's Guardian. But low key Wonderland about to bulldoze that because, I don't know if anyone can help me here. I'm having trouble finding Zombies 4D on the Haunt website.
I have a theory because of that. I have a theory because of exactly that. I think you mentioned, I don't know if it was a few months back now, it was a little while ago, that building basically needs to be condemned. That between the, critter infestations and the, alleged critter infestations and, some other issues going on with it, alleged, maybe mold, maybe other things, that it just was not in good shape. And it would, at the time, I think you were saying it probably needs a full rehaul, or what do they call it when they tear down the whole inside and rebuild the whole thing. But maybe they just decided it's actually more sensible and gives them more options to just tear it down completely and go ground up with the dark ride. Maybe it's still on the table, but they had to push it farther down the budget because they're now making a bigger plan.
It's true.
And, with the plan that we saw, or potential plan that we saw of a whole retheme little mining town area around Whitewater, it would make sense that would follow maybe shortly after and tie into the theming and stuff. So that was kind of what I was tinkering with. And then when you said that just now, I'm like, yep.
So, Bob, hello. How are you?
Hello.
Bob.
I'm good.
I thought this would be a great opportunity for you to tell my viewers how a park like Canada's Wonderland, since we have, so basically to introduce the topic that I want to talk about is I'm confused. Okay, and I'll explain why I'm confused. Typically, I've had it really easy when it comes to predicting what's coming next at Wonderland. So easy that, last year, for example, the only survey markings that existed were in the Planet Snoopy railroad coaster area and the Tundra Twister area. So to predict what we were getting in 2023, I was like, these two areas are going to get investments. And what I'm hearing in the, the pipeline, Bob, is this and that. Now we have a park that has survey markings on Wild Beast, in Medfair, in Alpine, in World Expo, in Frontier Canada, and in Planet Snoopy. And Action Zone, actually. So predicting what the hell Wonderland is working on is gotten impossible because I don't know a location. Figuring out what survey markings are for flat rides and a coaster is next to impossible because the entire circumference of a surveying area, keyword, is extremely difficult because some of these survey areas are the entire area, like Action Zone. So, and Frontier Canada. So it's really difficult. So I think it would be perfect for you to explain how a park like Canada's Wonderland that is surveying so much goes about using those surveying areas. Maybe you can describe it better than I just did, to do what they're going to do. Like what are they about to do with those areas that they've surveyed and the process in that?
Yeah, so I'll go with the entire, basically, attraction acquiring system that is kind of in place for the amusement industry. So typically when parks are planning out whether it's their next year attraction, if they have a smaller budget, it's usually a year in advance. If it's a larger budget, they'll be doing it 2-3 years down the line. They'll be going up to different vendors. Say they're looking for a dark ride, they'll go up to all the different dark ride vendors. And they'll be like, hey, I'm looking for a dark ride, and it's going to be in this general area. If what they see this company is offering is somewhere down the line of what they're interested in, they'll provide the company with a CAD file, which is all those survey markings for a specific area that just outlines this area and all the restrictions in said area. And they'll hand it off to the company and they'll be like, show me what you can do here. Sell it to me. Because they're asking. It's a proposal. They're asking them to sell them the ride. Then that will go back to whatever company they're going out for. If it's for a coaster, it'll go out to the coaster companies. They'll come back with a general layout of what they think should go in that area. And then if Wonderland likes what they see, they'll go back to the company and be like, I like this part of the ride, I don't like this, or you're cutting too close to this building, I don't like it, or can we spice it up on this part of the ride? And then they'll be doing a back and forth. They'll go to multiple companies and do this. Like, at no point are they guaranteed any attraction. And then once they see the absolute perfect attraction, they'll go in and they'll negotiate a contract with that that company. That's usually about a year or two before it gets built. That being said, what it looks like and why it's so hard for your 2025 predictions is they're surveying the entire park. So it sounds like Wonderland actually has a lot of options where they can put these different rides, and they don't quite know where they want it yet, because they've been putting all this money and all this expansion up into Frontier Canada. And maybe they're like, okay, Frontier Canada's gotten all love, maybe we want to put it somewhere else, but they don't quite know where yet. So they have a bunch of different areas. They probably went to a bunch of different suppliers and they asked, hey, we don't know what we want. We see you're offering this new attraction, this new feature. Can you try putting it? We have 2 or 3 locations around the park that we've recently surveyed. Here's the CAD files. Can you throw something up, mock something up for us in this location? And we will, and we'll get back to you on if we like it or not. So in the survey you recently saw, you saw 3 options, which is part of the artwork that they would have gotten back from the companies saying, hey, this is the area you gave us. This is what we think would work well here. Of course, there's more details that they didn't release, like full proper layouts or different features or elements, maybe something that's unique that might not be in the industry. Because if you're, so Cedar Fair, specifically Wonderland, has a good reputation with B&M. So if you get into a book of having a really good reputation with a company, sometimes they'll give you exclusive things that aren't anywhere close to being public, that their competitors don't know, and that competing parks don't even know. And they'll be like, if you want this, you will be the first in the world to have this. And that's what I think may have happened with B&M, because they hid 95% of their rides in there. And we know Cedar Fair has a really good reputation with B&M. So that's something that you see in that stage. So now that's, Wonderland has it. They know that they want a family attraction, and that's why they have such a good wooden coaster example in that survey. But they got this really nice option of a feature that might not exist somewhere else. Maybe with B&M.
Yeah.
And since they don't actually know what they need to do, that's where you saw that survey come in. But once they figure it out and they're more set on it, they'll lock down with one supplier and they'll iron out the details. And that's when production will start and construction would start.
Yeah, I actually have a feeling that we might see more surveys come out with different concepts and different storylines for those same areas that they were surveying for.
I hope so. Because I feel like I know what they're going to go with, but I hope they change the theme on it.
Yeah, okay, so because it gets a little more confusing. So because more markings, I'm going to show you guys in my construction update, have appeared for the wing coaster. In fact, markings that almost make it sound like they're about to start construction. We have points of interest added to the surveying area, and points of interest, I don't know if you can touch on that, Bob, at all, are really interesting because that's when they're starting to get a little more concrete. So in their CAD file, you were saying, of their surveying area, a point of interest is essentially like what you were just saying, something's going to go here, like usually a footing. They have like a marked footing area, or this is a specific thing that the ride needs to avoid. So that started to appear in the wing coaster area. But on top of that, they're teasing in Frontier Canada, and we haven't seen a dry park announcement for Frontier Canada, and I don't have any rumored 2024 editions for Frontier Canada. So I don't even have anything coming down through the rumor mill. And I want to touch on something, and I don't want to... I was ranting in Discord like 3 days ago. Do you remember this, Jake? Where I was like, for the first year ever, I had no idea. I was like, normally
This
I
is
know
in the park, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I was like, I normally know the editions like 3 to 4 weeks ahead of time, and I knew the water park one. And if you guys remember, I was even ranting in a video about this. I know the water park one, but my typical people I go to know nothing about anything in the dry park. And I'm really, and this is where maybe I was getting a little greedy. I was like, there's got to be something in the dry park. My obsession with this dark ride and action theater. I'm like, I'm asking everyone I know, all my normal people, like the public places I go to get some information, and there's nothing. So I'm panicking. I'm like, is this going to be the year where I actually don't know what's coming? And funny enough, it ends up being just the water slide. So that's why. That's why no one had any information so
as far
far.
As we know.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I know about Behemoth, but I don't consider that an addition. I don't know. Are we so desperate for a paint job that we're going to consider that an addition at this point?
Absolutely not. Unless like it's like a full re-theme.
Like a re-theme.
But that's not going to happen.
And then the other thing is Wild Beast. Now that's not even confirmed. We don't know the exact year that's happening. We can confirm now with the amount of spray paint on Wild Beast's supports and the infield of the ride with the orange.
Oh,
Oh, you're lagging there, Brendan.
I cut out, didn't I? I got a phone call. 1 second.
Yeah.
I want to go down the crazy skeptic train or crazy idea train.
Ooh, I like that train.
So I've have this thought in my head that maybe Wonderland doesn't announce a 2024 edition because they're not opening it in their regular season. What if they're doing a dark ride that can work in Winterfest and they want to open it for Winterfest to get those ticket sales
next season?
Yeah, to get those ticket sales back to Winterfest where we know they're struggling a little
Boost
bit.
it. That's a very interesting thought.
I could very well see that
because-
happen.
They wouldn't want, like, if they were to launch it now, everyone would go and do it in the summer, and
Yeah.
then they would have no reason to go to Winterfest.
My
Yeah.
Winterfest source, which was right about they told me about the extended season. Now they over-exaggerated it by a week, but that happens a lot. And Wonderland also could maybe not have fully made up their mind about the extending 2 weeks into January. They told me that the new additions for Winterfest, my hair is such a mess, are potentially ice skating on Whitewater Canyon, with the forest all decorated in lights, and a toboggan hill. So those would be the additions that Wonderland are, and they were just looking at these, by the way. They didn't buy these yet.
I hope it doesn't break any Whitewater stuff, because Whitewater's awesome.
No, I wouldn't break any Whitewater stuff. They would just use like the essentially the thing, and they would just freeze the whatever you call the basin with ice.
Yeah.
But those were the Winterfest editions that Wonderland was looking at for this season. I was told that's all for now. That's what I was told by Wonderland. That's how they worded it. So take that as you will. I don't know if that's like a little like that's all for now or that's like that's all. Like, you know what I mean? But what I was told is that's all for now.
I mean, I think we're just spoiled and used to not having like a small edition kind of season. Like without anything, you know, in the dry park in the rides department. But I don't know. I don't think, like you said, I don't think Wild Beast is out of the picture. I think they're just not considering it like something they're going to advertise. I think you might be right on that.
Yeah, for the wild beast thing is Canadians in general, I think wooden coasters are extremely rough. Just like that's like the end of the sentence. People who ride wooden roller coasters in Canada, which is or like have only been to Wonderland and have been
Yeah.
on wooden rides, they only think, "Wow, those rides suck" because they're made of wood. But in reality, there's a bunch of amazing wooden rides. They just don't know.
Yeah.
So if they were to advertise something being good, they would just think it's going to be rough, just like it is now. Like, how could you make that better?
So I guess maybe they could be looking at Wild Beast getting a proper retrack as a bridge to something with Mindbuster in the future.
Another
Because
thing I
if
just
people see like, oh, this is good now, what happened? And then you advertise a new wooden coaster, like brand new, state of the art, they might, you know, be headed in the right direction.
another thing that I just thought of is they typically announce ride removals in like September or October, so they could do that and then also announce Beast at the same time to make it be like, hey, we're removing this, but we're making this better. Something like that.
Good point.
Maybe. If they were to remove a ride, not saying they are.
So another thing I was told by the park is that a lot of information is still coming in and that there will be further information released down the road. But that was in reference to like everything. That wasn't in reference to rides. So basically how it sounded was there's a lot going on at Wonderland and they too are still learning things. That's the gist of things that I was gathering from that conversation.
Interesting.
Yeah, sorry guys. People are saying welcome back. I know I've been gone a really long time and there's been hardly any content coming out of my end. But thanks to Jasmine and Jake for filling in. Otherwise the channel would have had nothing at all. But yeah, so definitely support their videos just as much. Please. I know my channel is mainly construction updates, which sometimes makes it I'll post like a video about Haunt and it'll get like only 1,000 views, or there'll be like a video about like the history or something. If you guys could support like all the kinds of videos, that really helps the channel as well and helps create that community that I'm trying to go for. So let's move on to Dorney Park and then we can come back to.
I love this one.
Dorney Park.
So, people, people know, people who talk to me know I've been very excited for this. I've been very, very excited for this. I don't care if how the layout is. I'm happy it ended up being a good layout. But to me, it's so cool that a park of this size is finally getting something new. It has a pretty cool theme. It has a matching Haunt attraction with it as well, which is so cool. That will continue to extend the theme of the ride. I think the name is all right, but the theme is cool. The layout is cool. 95-degree drop, awesome. B&M bringing back their inclined loop as well. That is awesome. I don't think we've seen one of those from them in ages. I think since like floorless coasters, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So very cool. I'm super happy with this.
But when I first saw it, I thought it was sorry.
No, go ahead. You go
When
first.
I first saw it, I thought it was Yukon Striker, and then after the mid course is the end of the ride. Literally 4 inversions, then you're done. That's the first thing that I thought of.
I mean, it's a mini dive, so
Yeah.
it's like more like Emperor.
And
so,
then Yukon is a normal size or large size.
yeah,
Another thing that I found cool, if you watch the POV, the hold chain is the same as the lift chain. I just wonder if that's going to cause stress on the lift motor or something.
no, they could hear you. It's just you're not talking.
Uh-oh.
Maybe because when you got the call.
No, because that's a different microphone.
Can you hear me now? Yes, you can, I think, right? Yes. The mic was set to
Yeah, we
0
can
for
hear
some
you.
reason. Yeah, they can hear me again.
Yeah, Jake, it's worth noting as well. Yeah, B&M have already done this before with other dive coasters. Like,
Oh,
all of
okay.
them, as Ryan said in chat, all of them that don't have a turn use the same chain,
Oh, okay.
and it's fine for them. So,
Okay.
like,
It looks really fun. Oh,
off the top
Jasmine,
of
you
my
go.
head, like,
I mean, that's pretty much my review. It looks really fun. I think it's a perfect fit for Dorney. And yeah, I don't love the colors, but that's only because like you were saying, it looks like Yukon. But other than that,
Another thing is it takes away Hershey Park's ability to get a dive.
yeah,
Or they'll just
Unless
build a
Hershey
bigger.
Park gets like a giga dive.
and also Grid Adventure, right?
Yeah, great.
because they are like right next door.
Great Adventure is, I think they're going to announce something massive. I think Great Adventure is about to blow it out of the water.
It's gonna be big. I'm pretty sure. And there's like, it's not just gonna be this ride. It's they have other stuff. Like, don't forget about their, I think wasn't it their raft ride, or it was some kind of water ride? They closed for refurbishment for their anniversary as well. Like, they have several stuff that they are doing with this. This is gonna be pretty big for that park too. Whatever
Yeah.
their announcement is.
So that's exciting. Okay. Oh, Jasmine, you go about. Did you talk about this ride? You just said it's cool.
yeah. But just to add on, I think that they're peppering the dives kind of strategically, because you guys were mentioning that like certain parks can't get that now. But I agree with you. I think they have other things lined up for those parks. I'm glad that it's not like the old days where they used to clone something and then every single park would get it.
So a couple things I like about this ride. One, I like that they're incorporating it with Haunt. But also, what I don't like about that is it has a whole obsolete area for the entire season. Like, if you look at this rendering, there's the Haunt Maze back there. What's it doing during the season? Like, you know what I mean? Secondly, the flyers there. What I really hate, and this is what I really hate. Cedar Fair, when it comes to choosing colors for a lot of their flat rides, right before this new takeover. So Cedar Fair now is perfect in my opinion. Like, look at this new ride and look at all the building choices and the theming. I think it's stunning. It's great. It has a storyline.
Station.
And
love the
then
station.
and then there's a flyer. Those little, whatever they're called, those snapping flyers. And it literally is an eyesore to the area. And I hate that about the old Cedar Fair mixing in with the new Cedar Fair. Like, look at Frontier Canada. You have Frontier Canada, and then they built Lazy Bear Lodge right next to Skyhawk, and then Skyhawk's like this ugly piece of crap that looks like it's from the mall in Toronto that has rides in it.
Oh,
And then
Best ride in the park.
Windseeker's okay, but it fits in with Skyhawk, and then you have the Slingshot. And I hate it because you build this most beautiful restaurant in the chain, and then you have it sitting next to some of the ugliest rides in the park. And I just wish...
I totally agree with
Yeah.
that, actually.
It's bothering me now seeing new Cedar Fair mixing with old Cedar Fair. And what I like, though, is they're showing change with World Expo, and I hope they're about to erase Action Zone with that. Like, bulldoze it.
Yeah. I think what they're doing is sort of what sets, like, the high-end... Sorry, if you're hearing noises, it's my dog. It's sort of what sets the high-end theme parks like Disney, Universal, those, like, big-name ones, apart from other parks, which is instead of... And this is also to do with making the investors happy and stuff. But instead of retheming everything in that area when you put the ride in, if that's what needs to be done, like going blue sky with it, they will say, okay, well, we'll put it in the plans that when the paint needs to be redone on this, then we'll redo it then, you know, in 3 to 5 years or whatever. And they'll do it when the paint needs to be redone, and then it'll probably match the area down the road. But that's not the same thing as what, like, you know, is happening at like Epcot right now, where they're like, we want to put in this new Moana walk-through attraction, and then they walled off like an entire gigantic area of the park, and they're like, redo it all. And same thing with Universal. You'll walk in there having not been in a few months, and there will be, you know, an entire stretch of area that's like repainted or something, or like new buildings up that you didn't see before or whatever, and they'll just commit to just doing it. And it's not even like, you know, how right now we're talking about, okay, the budget for next year, whatever. It's just like an ongoing thing that I think they need to kind of take more of that approach if they really want to theme rides to this level, because it does kind of look silly to walk up to something like this and then you turn like 45 degrees this way and you're looking at, yeah, a fairground ride that's not themed at all.
I think though that what Ryan says in chat does bring up a very good point. The flyers may be rethemed. That's what the PR guy said for the park. So there you go. And also those buildings back there are likely washrooms for the themed area as well, which is really nice because if I remember correctly, I don't think there are any washrooms in that area of the park. I've only been once, so I don't remember. But that's cool. And yeah, and another thing Ryan said that's very true is that in the permits, there was more theming. So what you see in the animation and in this picture on the top of the screen, that's not all the theming. There will be likely more.
Yeah, it was
Very
the same
true.
with
Could be an
Yukon.
The
early
washrooms
version.
already exist. Okay, man. Yeah, so then those are just the washrooms.
It
Rethemed
was the same with
washrooms.
Yukon. It didn't look like a whole lot of theming, but it's more than what was in the animation.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Did everyone talk on this? Bob, do you have any thoughts on the dive coaster for Dorney Park?
I think it's a great addition. I think it's actually really going to be really well themed. To the point of having the eyesore in the themed area. Yes, they will eventually get a new coat of paint on it. That's most parks have to repaint stuff eventually. But unlike Universal or Disney, the budget for theming coming from Cedar Fair is not going to be the same.
What are you talking about? We have $500 million to drop on new coasters.
You have 500 million, then whatever Universal has will double that, right?
Oh yeah, I was not trying to suggest they spend the same kind of money. I just,
Yeah.
you know, they've been talking about wanting to be more theme park like, so
Yeah.
drawing the
They're-
comparisons.
They're in the never-ending battle of you always have to add new attractions to draw in guests to rebuy the season pass and buy tickets, but you also have to start theming your old areas if you want to become that theme park, which gets those TikTok like I'm in a different universe when I'm here type of vibes. And it's a challenge because you want to spend your $3-4 million budget, $10 million budget on that, but if you're spending your $10 million budget on a new ride, you can't spend it retheming everything else. So again, another point to Wonderland just spent under $1 million on a water slide and nothing else for that investment next year. So that leaves their whatever budget they had of say $10 million for new attractions to revamping everything else, retheming everything else.
Adding the VIP areas.
Yeah. And that's what you'll need to get rid of these eyesores is you'll need a year where you don't get that new attraction, but you take the money for a new attraction and you throw it at everything else.
I hope this has Yukon bins. I think
From
that'd
the
be
animation, it did have bins on the ride platform.
cool. Okay. I think you've all spoken about this.
Yeah,
It
it's
will have
ugly.
the faster floor though.
No, I'm kidding. Bob, did you have anything to do with this coaster? Just question. No, I'm kidding.
With this one? No.
It will have the faster floor like Dr. Diapocalypse.
What's the faster floor?
It only has 2 combs in the front, and the
Oh.
second and third row don't have combs.
And yet another B&M to build up that relationship.
Oh, do we have to talk about this ugly thing?
How dare you? Okay.
I didn't know we were talking about me
Hold on.
now.
For me, this is cool. because family boomerangs are fun. I love family boomerangs. They are so much fun to ride.
I'm so mad about it. No, okay, because I actually heard and this is what scares me now. I'm so worried because if Carowinds gets this too, because I had heard I if you remember my video, I said Carowinds and Kings Island are about to get Snoopy's Racing Railway. I didn't know years, but they were next in line for Snoopy's Racing Railway. So I assumed they were going to get our Snoopy's Racing Railway. Because why not? You think that they would use the same IP and the same thing and blah blah blah, but no, they get a Vekoma boomerang while we get a Canadian or whatever. No, it's not Canadian, but we get a. I can't even say his. I can't even say the reason we got it though because there's connections. We got that. I still love it. It's cute. But we could have had this, and I bet you they're going to let adults ride this. Are they going to let adults ride this? Because
They will. They 100% will. I don't think there's any family boomerang that does not let adults ride.
Yeah, well, because
so.
it's a family ride, not a kid
It is a
ride.
family coaster, yes. So it's not a kid coaster.
No, because Wonderland gets the short end of... No, I'm not done my rant. Shut up for a second. Because this is stupid. Like, honestly, no, this is actually getting frustrating. Because I swear to God, if Carowinds announces a mock double launch spinning coaster and we're gonna get a wing coaster that launches out of the mountain, does 3 inversions, and then hits the brake run, I'm about to flip the mountain upside down. Because I am sick of Wonderland getting family coasters, and a B&M is a family coaster. I don't even care. I don't care anymore. And I know that people are getting angry with me for being upset over getting B&Ms, but if your park was all B&Ms, and we're not talking old gen B&Ms that actually pull forces. We're talking new gen B&Ms that are literally borderline family coasters, okay? No, because honestly, guys, listen to me for a second. Surya's about to post the funniest thing on his Instagram. I don't know if he did it yet. He took a photo of Yukon Striker at a random point in it, and he's about to ask people, is this a wing coaster or a dive coaster? And it has opened such a great conversation because a wing coaster is Yukon Striker without a drop and a launch instead. That is what we're about to get. We're about to get Yukon Striker with a launch. And it is so frustrating to me because our park needs something more diverse. And if Wonderland doesn't see it, Wonderland needs to go to my TikTok and go to my video or my YouTube video. And everyone is starting to comment on the fact that Wonderland keeps getting the same rides. You are, Wonderland. You are. And you are making the wrong decisions, Wonderland. You are. And I know this is going to cause some riffraff or some roughness, but you need to be a little more open to criticism right now, okay? This is constructive criticism. Tundra Twister is a flop, no matter how you look at it, Wonderland. People do not want slow-moving rides anymore. They're commenting on your own videos when you announce things. When you posted the testing footage of Tundra Twister, you know damn well that people were like, this looks boring. This isn't what you guys advertised in your animation. People were commenting that all over. And they're gonna do the same thing for this launch coaster. They might like the gimmick of it coming out of the mountain, and you advertised fire in your survey because you knew damn well that people would see fire and they'd be like, oh, that's cool. You ain't gonna have fire coming out of that clay mountain that's rotting. You ain't gonna have fire up there. You know damn well that mountain would burst up in flames, so there ain't gonna be fire up there. So on paper, it looks cute in a survey with fire coming out of it, but when people ride it, they're going to be bored. You know that. Where is our cool rides? Where is our innovation? Yeah, Leviathan's been really cool. And you know what, Wonderland? If you were at the park, I know you are. I know you guys have numbers. Leviathan had a 45-minute wait tonight. Behemoth had a 5-minute wait. Yukon Striker, same thing, like 10, 15 minutes. You built a really cool B&M, Leviathan, really fast, really tall, really menacing. It's doing well. You have 2 slower B&Ms, okay, because Behemoth is slower in the final draw, and it's been there for a while. People are bored. People are very bored. I am bored out of my mind at that park. And I didn't used to like thrilling rides. Okay, you guys saw my reaction on the Intamin multi-launch at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It looked like I hadn't been on a coaster in my life. But
I have a thought to add to this rant.
Okay, you take over because I won't end.
I feel like you're getting a little red in the face. I'm gonna give you a breath. So I think Wonderland, I don't want to say like needs to bring in some like younger blood in the decision making circle, but I think they don't necessarily understand new generations and what millennial parents and young Gen X parents are like, because even the youngest kids that I know, I have a really big family. Even the youngest kids that I know don't want to go on the like soft, babying you kiddie rides. Like we these new generations coming up are like they don't mess around. These are some like high thrill kids. And, gentle parenting is not, I think, what I don't know. I just think like generationally they're also not understanding what the upcoming markets want as far as that category of family coasters and, I don't want to say necessarily kiddie coasters. Like kiddie coasters still have to be kiddie coasters to a degree, right? There's certain like check marks there's certain boxes they have to check off. But I just think like people don't want these slow moving rides, and that's kind of where this like frustration and rant is coming from with the constant B&M editions. Is they all have that same general feel to them. Like I get the same sort of pushback when I complain about this too. It's like, well, not every B&M is the same. Like you can't say this isn't different from this, and blah blah blah, whatever. And we can argue that till we're blue in the face. But you cannot deny that, like you said, not counting the old generation B&Ms, I could get on any like B&M hyper pretty much anywhere in the world, and it's going to have a similar feel to it. I could get on any dive anywhere that they exist, B&M dive, and they're going to have a similar feel to it. And furthermore, all of those B&M models have that similar sort of like B&M signature feel to it. I don't know how to explain it other than it's more of like a floaty feel. It's not as intense. And then you get on any Intamin in the world and you're going to immediately feel the difference. Ride through all those different types of B&Ms and then get on any Intamin in the world and you're going to be like, whoa, this is a different beast. That's the point here. Is like they can't just keep throwing out the same thing again and again.
It's like to the point where I have been on family coasters, actual family coasters, recently that are more forceful than B&Ms. Actual family coasters. They are marketed as family coasters, they have the height of family coasters, and they are more forceful than B&Ms.
I think that this rant wouldn't exist if Wonderland were to keep the 3 B&Ms they have right now and build a GCI as their next coaster. Like and not a family GCI, Mystic Timbers. Like even take out the mock double launch extreme spinner. Okay, maybe Wonderland doesn't want the that many parts on a train right now. They're looking for something. There are other options for a launch coaster other than bringing in B&M again to do what's already built out there. And what bothers me about Wonderland is that sometimes I feel like they blow smoke up my butt a little bit, because I was told that Wonderland wasn't ever going to build something that already exists in Canada, okay? The water slide right here. It exists down the street. It literally...
I'm just curious.
Wet and Wild.
Oh, okay.
But... So if you guys have
I'm
any...
gonna red pen that real quick. Like, we only meant dry rides. For anyone in this chat right now, like, have you guys been to Kings Island? Like in the chat, YouTube chat. Have you been to Kings Island? Because Kings Island is the most well-rounded park I've ever been to. It's perfect. And the fact that they're adding something like this to their collection, like that park, it's going places, Kings Island. And on the stockholders call, they talked about Kings Island being one of the top performers this season in the Cedar Fair chain in terms of year-over-year growth. And there's a reason for that. And Wonderland was reported on the stockholders call as one of the worst parks for year-over-year growth. Obviously, the wildfires did play a part. Obviously, the weather has played a part. But for anyone that went to the park in July, you could tell that things were a little off. It seemed really
dead. Like, we're talking walk-ons at night. Things have changed. They have gotten better. August seems to be doing pretty fairly well. I mean, there was a pretty bad rainstorm today, and Wonderland held a pretty decent crowd. And then yesterday, it was like the busiest anyone has ever seen Wonderland. So obviously Wonderland's made a change. They've offered cheaper tickets. The season pass sale, I think, is going to do really well. And Cedar Fair's done a really great job at changing the all season or the free fast lane for a day to 5 single use fast lanes that you can't use all in the same day. So it forces someone to come 5 additional days for the rest of the year. Anyone who studies business, an amazing decision on Cedar Fair's part to do that, because they've just guaranteed anyone getting a season pass for 2024 is going to come visit 5 more times, which is a really high number for visitation on a season pass. I think the old number, Jasmine, correct me if I'm wrong, you used to work for Wonderland, the average guest visit was 2 to 3 times back in the day, was it not?
The season pass has typically, and again, if anybody else knows more recent numbers than me, correct me, but from my day, it would typically hover like people would come just enough to get their money's worth. And then you'd have like crazies like me that would come constantly and kind of throw the stats a bit. But generally speaking, the average person getting a season pass is getting their money's worth and then probably forgetting about it.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of people are a little angry by our rant on Wonderland. Okay,
Oh, they didn't like that?
I don't know. I'm reading up a little bit. I wasn't paying attention while I was ranting because I was fuming. But, honest opinion, you guys, say how you feel right now. Are you guys happy with Wonderland's lineup? Like, truthfully, answer...
No.
Like, in chat, too. Like, are you guys happy with Wonderland's, Okay, maybe I was misreading it.
Knows.
Okay, guys,
We
we're
definitely
getting...
had a few people saying they like B&Ms, and I don't have anything against B&Ms. I just don't think we need a park full of them.
There are some amazing B&Ms out there.
Okay. Oh, okay. I guess I was totally... there's a common trend with me over-analyzing things. It's blasé boring. That's such a fancy way of wording it. Let's go. I want to go have tea with that person. I did see, I don't want to ignore it, Joseph has said that they are changing the theme of the flyers. So thank you for correcting that. But this is a beautiful area. And I see Wonderland's 3D printer is going to be put to use for this ride. Anyone see that?
Yeah.
Up there on the top of those characters. Yeah. I don't know if maybe they're going to buy one for Kings Island, but I can't see Cedar Fair buying that industrial-sized 3D printer for all their parks when they can just put one to use.
Wonderland's gonna make the other parks pay them for it and make a little extra.
Yeah, it would be weird for Cedar Fair to want to do it based out of Wonderland, just because getting it across the border is a whole other thing. But
It
Really?
would complicate things. It might be cheaper, but I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah. Oh, maybe they are buying them for all the Cedar Fair parks, but I was told that Wonderland, it was exclusive to Wonderland. But I've been told a lot of things.
It probably depends how expensive it is. I don't really know what those kind of, I mean, obviously they're not cheap, industrial ones especially, but I don't really know how that would play out. Like, what would be more cost effective to deal with the cross-border stuff or to put another one in at least one of the U.S. parks. They'll probably do one on either side of the border is my guess.
yeah, that would make the most sense for them, in my opinion.
I have something I really want to say.
Say it.
Okay. This is, I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time Cedar Fair is working with New Gen Vekoma. And this could potentially put a lot of stuff on the menu for what parks could get. You want to talk about getting a forceful launch coaster? Something like Formula at Energylandia.
No, shut up. I don't let hope exist at Wonderland anymore. You're not allowed talking about hope. You know what we're getting over the next 5... You know what? You know what? You know what? No, everyone loves these videos. No, let me talk for a second, Zach. Let me talk for a second. I'm making my 10-year prediction video for Canada's Wonderland right now. You know what we're getting in 2025? You know what? You're going to see the word GCI pop on the screen, and then it's going to be the smallest GCI you've ever seen. And they're going to say...
GCIs were good.
And they're going to say you need a kid to ride it. Okay? And then that means... And then 3 years from then, you know what we're getting? You know what we're going to get? A launched wing coaster. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to give us 3 inversions on it. And then Kings Island's going to get a 5 inversion launched wing coaster a year later. And then, 3 years after that, you know what we're getting? The surf coaster
Ah!
in World Expo.
No.
And that's our 10-year prediction video right there. There you guys are. So anyone expiring in the next 10 years, there's exciting times ahead.
B&Ms. And then we're gonna get after that. We're gonna get the new B&M family coaster that SeaWorld is getting.
Oh my goodness, Wonderland, stop!
The B&M invert family coaster.
No, seriously, I need to. This is all jokes, by the way. Everything I'm about to say, Wonderland, if you're in here right now, is jokes. Would not actually do this, but I'm breaking into their HQ and I'm strapping myself to a desk and going on a hunger strike until they stop their partnership with B&M.
Well, if we're doing that, I think we should turn it into a general enthusiast strike. We should all choose a ride that needs to be removed, strap ourselves to them, and just, list our demands.
Okay, but
Stay
can
put.
please think about for a second the amount of models that Vekoma has, like in their shop, like the amount of things that have just opened up the Cedar Fair.
It's the changing title for me. We're Wonderland Rants right now.
You still believe in the Tooth Fairy, don't you, Zach?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and Santa Claus. Yeah, I used to be like you. Remember my video last year? Mock double launch extreme spinner coming to Wonderland in 2025?
Mock double launch extreme spinner, and I'm not saying at Wonderland, okay? I'm just saying other Cedar Fair parks can now get this. This is big for the smaller parks because Vekoma is not super expensive.
You're assuming all goes
Family
well on
boomerangs
this.
are like pretty nice.
They could be using this as a test, and
Yeah, and
it's Vekoma's deal to lose, right?
Potentially this opens up the menu.
Yeah, but or
not
if
saying
they can completely mess up doing this ride, and then that just burns that bridge.
Yeah, like how Intamin messed up with Gotham City Escape. That thing is down half the day every day.
Okay, can I talk about something? Because there was a comment I saw about how there was someone saying that the reason B&Ms are good is because for families and reliability, and that Wonderland is a point. But I'm going to tell you right now, okay, and anyone that works in the industry right now, stay silent on this. I'm telling you right now, B&Ms are not as reliable as they used to be. Dive coasters, more specifically. Yukon is on the top of the list. Not quite the top, but it's in the top 4 attractions at Wonderland with the most downtime this season. Allegedly. So B&M's ain't so, perfect either. In fact, ever since a certain someone took over at B&M, things seem to have gone slightly downhill. That's just my little allegedly rant.
You know what? You know what you get now? SPF visa. You're gonna get a spinner. That's the spinner you're getting.
You know what? I could see Wonderland building that in the basement of the mountain and calling it a new coaster.
Not even the extended one. It's the one that's in Ottawa.
I do think B&M's reputation has been burned this year greatly with Cedar Fair, because that negative publicity that went to GP from certain rides that were B&M's is going to look really bad. And I do think that you might see a pause on B&M's to Cedar Fair. The only reason you saw announcements is that was a done deal for a while.
Okay.
But maybe after that you might not see it because that bridge might have gotten burned by certain situations. Yes, the company B&M handled that situation well, but that's still really bad publicity.
So I'll touch on that actually, and everything I'm about to say is alleged. Okay, this is extreme. I will say that what happened at Fury, allegedly, in my opinion. So for those of you, this is the one area that I actually know my shit on talking about, and I know exactly what's going on with Fury, and you're gonna see this a lot more on B&Ms. So B&M has been using a specific weld design on their supports, similar to the one that cracked on Fury, and a lot of welders in the industry are actually talking now about this weld job that B&M has been doing on that specific design on those supports, and it's extremely weak. Apparently it's got a huge flaw in that specific design where they overlap and it's so thin. There's such a thin weld job that it's open. It's susceptible to cracks like that so often. Now, obviously, it is on Carowinds' maintenance department for not catching it so long, but you're going to see a lot of the B&Ms with very thin weld jobs on supports like that, and also B&M choosing to do an inward support where they should have done an outward support in specific areas. Like, it's almost like a really poor design, and that is what I've been hearing in the industry from welders and construction workers and construction companies. So for me, that seems like back in the day we used to be like, oh, how did Intamin miss that? How did Intamin design that so poorly? Why did they have to redo the JoJo roll on Maverick? That's such a bad thing. Oh my god. How did they design a lift hill on their log ride at Cedar Point without anti-rollbacks? How did they mess up I-305 at King's Dominion, and RMC too? But here we are, B&M is messing up their support columns with really poor weld jobs in the connecting parts of the support. Yeah, and that's the key switches. You bring up a good point, and thank goodness this is not just B&M. I was told that most coasters nowadays would actually have been able to survive what happened to Fury 325. Most coasters are over-designed in their support structure for that exact thing. Now, what you really want to thank is that didn't happen to the lift hill. Because there is one part on a roller coaster that can't survive a mistake like that, and it's the lift hill.
Yikes.
The good thing is the lift hill doesn't take a lot of forces.
Yes, thank goodness. Let's just hope they check the lift hill.
But I think, Brendan, with what you're saying, and I'm sure that is true, just given the nature of the incident, but given all of that information, I think Bob's point is completely on track. That because think about how much that's going to cost them at every single one of their parks to now double check all of the B&Ms. They're going to bring in engineering firms, and I don't know what kind of that's going to cost them a lot to fix it, obviously, on that one and any other ones that they detect a similar issue on or a similar area of strain. I don't know what those kinds of jobs run, but I imagine they're not cheap. So they're probably going to think twice before seeing some proof that B&M has changed the flaws in their design in future installations before they, accept another bid from them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the type of mistake that manufacturers make that will end years-long relationship, and will make the customer, in this case the parks, reconsider going with them. And when it was a obvious solution, I will always go with you, and then you just cost me $500,000 on repairs on every single one of my rides for you, and I know you're not covering that. I can tell you, B&M, maybe they covered half the cost, but I don't think they covered the entire cost of that replacement.
No. Or they might just cover it on Fury, because that one actually, and that could also depend on timing in their contract and stuff, right?
Also, maybe just the cost of the support, but not the installation and then the testing and all that.
So from my opinion on situations like that, typically it will be playing a blame game of who's to blame. And B&M will just come back and they'll be like, this was supposed to be checked on your regular maintenance. If this was caught in your regular maintenance, it would have been catastrophic. The whole reason you're replacing the support now is because you didn't catch it in your regular maintenance. If you were doing it as per our specification, it wouldn't have happened. And I can almost guarantee you that's the response that came up. It would have been a lot more polite than that, but that would have been the gist.
Yeah.
Maybe having those B&M reps and that third-party agency come out would have been at B&M's cost, just to show good faith to keep them as a customer. But no, the entire support column replacement would have been done by Cedar Fair. And you probably will be seeing a service bulletin going out for all other B&Ms that use the support structure, saying, hey, you now have to do an extra step every whatever maintenance period to check on it.
Oh, and they do. Wonderland has cherry pickers parked next to all their B&Ms.
So yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of welding going on these support beams, or even seeing supports getting replaced on other B&Ms in the off season.
Is there any other news? Like we know that Great Adventure is about to announce something crazy. I suspect it's going to be insane. Like, it's a front gate coaster. Their teasers have been really cool. I like the image they posted of front gate, and they're like, "Ooh, something's missing." I was like, "Oh yeah, Wonderland's front gate." I'm getting.
Oh.
Brandon, when are they expected to make this announcement?
Ryan said something about tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Oh, jeez.
Ryan in
Is
chat.
this for 2025 or 2024?
2024 Great Adventure.
Didn't they just get like a new ride in 2021? How is Six Flags getting this
Tomorrow
much?
on TikTok. Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did say it was gonna be on TikTok.
Oh my
right?
god, they're gonna do a dance. They're gonna be like, "Come ride our Giga."
Dance.
They ain't gonna call it a Giga. No way. I should reach out to my connections. I kind of want to know what it is now.
Yeah, can you? And then slide into my DM so I can make a video before tomorrow morning.
I don't know. My connections are probably asleep at this point.
Oh wait. But can you message me about Sploosh Doo?
I think you probably know as much as I know about that at the moment.
Wait.
Or maybe not. Maybe not.
Check Snap.
Okay.
Prestige Pass. Yes.
Oh
Okay,
yes.
Think about it.
I'm gonna be right back.
All right. I think
Oh yeah. Prestige
It'll
Pass.
be
You're talking
terrible.
about that.
Oh, sorry. The pass will be fine. In terms of the VIP areas, I think those will be terrible. It'll be like a tent with a couple of chairs, and if you're lucky, you'll get a couch. But then everybody's gonna be sitting on the couch.
Yeah, I feel like
And-
Wonderland doesn't understand the VIP thing in general, from what I've heard.
Okay, so I had a good conversation about Prestige today with someone from Wonderland that would know. They don't know. They're still waiting on information about some of the stuff like VIP areas. So yeah. But okay, in their defense, okay, like that sounds like an insult, and it was meant to be a funny insult there. But in their defense too, designing a VIP area, I've seen the one that's at Cedar Point. It's literally tents, like giant tent areas with couches in them and fans, and then you get free snacks. And we're talking tiny, like we're talking like little chocolate bars and like bags of chips, but not even like the little bags of chips. We're talking like smaller versions of those. And water bottles. And that's your VIP area. So don't expect anything crazy.
They wouldn't do drinks because they want you to buy the drink plan.
Yeah. So you get water. I think I can't remember. There might have been pop actually thing, or juice boxes or something. I don't know.
You do get preferred parking and 20% off merch instead of 15, if that's.
Oh,
Worth the
Ryan
extra
wants to
$200.
join. Powers back. Mind if I join? Oh yeah, Ryan, you can join now.
Guaranteed shade. That is how they're getting you with it.
Literally.
$200 for some extra shade.
That ain't right. They need to put extra shade in the whole house, in the whole park.
I just want more seating.
All areas should be shaded with the way the heat sort of situation is going this summer, and trajectory is showing that it will be going in future summers. They need to put more shade in the park.
Yeah, it'd probably be a couple rocks because everybody's sitting on a rocks at Wonderland.
Couple rocks.
Not even benches.
I'll give you guys my honest predictions about where they're going to be. I think the patio out back to not Market, is that what it?
Oswald Hall.
Oswald Hall. I think Backlot Cafe, the patio area back there, will be one. The little building, if it's not Backlot Cafe, it'll be the little building next to Extreme Skyflyer. That's the Winterfest bar, usually. I think that'll be one. Wait, I'm muted.
Again?
Again? Wait, hello?
Oh.
No, you're not.
Wait,
No, you're good.
he's not muted. Wait, what? Can't hear you.
Oh, he's good.
Oh,
Ryan's weird.
No, key switches. I think it might be on your end.
you're not. Oh, everyone can hear me. Okay, so that's another option, and then you're gonna see like other little areas. Like I think you could see one in the old Orbiter plot of land. It's gonna be like any place because you have to remember that Wonderland like doesn't have many places to choose from. I could even see that big green area in front of Action Theater, like it's overgrown grass, could be turned into a tent area as well. You're gonna want to look at areas like that, and they're gonna put up this giant, like those wedding tents almost. You're gonna see like those like wedding tents, not with sides. No. Just the tent, and then they're gonna put one fan that blows warm air at you, and you're gonna have a couch, and they're gonna be like, "Would you like your little tiny water bottle?" There's your little tiny. They're gonna have one person in there. It's gonna be a merch person, and all they do is be like, "This is a seating area for you prestige pass people that have given us $299." I'm hearing if you get a fully loaded prestige pass, I know someone that spent $1,700 on a fully loaded prestige pass. So Cedar Fair is making as much money now on season passes as Disney. Okay, right? Jasmine, can you confirm that a season pass for Disney for pass holders there? How much is that? I know it's a lot.
It depends which one you get. So I got one with blackout dates. Mine was somewhere between $600 and $700. But if you get the one with no blackout dates, I want to say it was like 12, maybe around there. They're very expensive, and it's just kind of funny that they're doing this and that you mentioned Disney, because Disney did something really similar recently, where they and Universal are kind of back and forth at each other all the time, right? So Universal has really good pass holder perks. They have like pass holder lounges. You can get like special items at certain restaurants that are just for pass holders, special drinks, stuff like that. Anyway, so Disney's like, we're going to do pass holder lounges, huh? And they announced this whole thing. They like make a big deal of it on social media. I went to the pass holder lounge at Epcot, and it's literally like an existing seating area by like Living with the Land. If anyone has ever been in the Land Pavilion, it's like a big open like cafeteria style area, and they've like roped off this little corner of it right by the line to a ride. So like you're sitting there with your free water bottle and like bag of, I don't know, cashews or something, and there's people in line like right beside you. It's like not quiet. It's not even that air conditioned because the line is right beside you. There's so many like bodies right there, and it's just like they're just doing the bare minimum to try to justify the crazy price hikes in the season passes, and especially like you were saying, that the higher tier ones with the more perks. But it's like you have to do more than that. Like Universal is the only one that's kind of doing it right, in my opinion, like giving a lot of perks, giving a lot of reasons to want to sort of like be a part of that pass holder community. They're not giving me, as far as Wonderland goes, they're not giving me any reason to upgrade my pass for those perks. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather just go sit in an air-conditioned restaurant for a few minutes or something.
So
Yeah.
I won't be getting the prestige pass, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Okay, it'll be a mini rant. Previously, Wonderland tried a platinum pass holder separate entrance at the park. If you had a platinum pass, for the first 2 hours of the day, you got your little entrance into the park. So guys, there was miswording in their advertisement. We all assume when they said 2 hours early entrance, they mean they're going to have your specific VIP entrance for the first 2 hours of the day. And then after that, it's not going to be there. So I already know that doesn't mean you're going to get to enter through Kingswood, guys. Kingswood's a construction site. You ain't going to get to enter through there.
People were thinking that.
Yeah, it was a typo on the website. The ERT is for all pass holders.
Yeah, so Wonderland did confirm to me that all pass holders will get ERT and Splashworks early entry. It's not just for Prestige. The other thing is the benefits really aren't worth it, truthfully. You're seeing most of us, and I really hope this doesn't make me sound distasteful. I feel like this is gonna make me sound ignorant. I feel like most of us get all season Fastlane. Oh, God just tried to help me right now. It was like, no, sir, we're gonna shut you up by moving your camera. I feel like most of us get all season Fastlane. Is that wrong?
Be probably getting it for next year. So
The enthusiasts.
So those little, one single use skip the line. Like Six Flags gives you, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan, you would probably know this. Do you get like 6 to 8 single use skip the lines when you got your memberships at Six Flags? From what I remember.
Oh, I have absolutely no idea.
I thought it was 5. That's what. Like with the Diamond Elite plan or something, whatever it's called, the most highest one, you get 5.
I think I have the gold one.
Six Flags is 1 too. Okay, so maybe I was wrong about that. Oh, okay, so seems like Cedar Fair is taking a little page out of Six Flags' book then with this Prestige and Ultra Extreme Blend. Wait, why is there a heart icon right there? Okay, weird. I have this weird heart icon now on my streaming software. I don't know what that does. Let's not press it so I don't end the stream.
Yep.
Yeah, so Nicholas, I agree. Like, I was doing the math and I was just like, I think I'm okay with a gold pass fully loaded. I think I'm just going to get my gold pass with my meal plan. I'm not going to get the drink plan plus because I've been really content with drinking water. I don't know about you guys, but I hate drinking pop when it's hot out.
Wait. Can you get it for me?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I need some slushies.
Okay, but in full honesty, it's goes from like $35 to like $49, which is actually a really good deal because then you get. I don't understand. So
you get hot chocolate
and hot chocolate. So I don't understand Cedar Fair's thinking behind this because, first of all, this is where I think Cedar Fair is crazy because their drink plans, in my opinion, are already way too cheap. And I hope that doesn't make me sound distasteful too. But $35, $34.99, you get all season drinks every 15 minutes. That's like you can't find that anywhere in terms of your pricing PowerPoint. And then now you're going to offer, is it $45.99 for the drink plan plus, right?
$49.99.
45 or it's 49.
$49.99. And you're going to get free slushies and hot chocolate and pop.
You already got pop with the regular.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, like, how are they earning any money on that? Can you imagine? This is why I'm not getting it, because I never get an icy at Wonderland. I'm already struggling with my weight on the daily basis, you know what I mean? And if you give me access to a slushie, I'm going to get a slushie at least once a day. And we all know slushies are like 1,000 calories, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to bring me into Winterfest. I don't get hot chocolates because the line for hot chocolates is insane. But apparently you're going to get free hot chocolates and coffee for Winterfest on top of it. So can you imagine me at the end of the season? All this time I'm like fighting with my weight, and then literally at the end of 2024 I'm going to be like too big to go on roller coasters.
2025 comes out.
Yeah, Surya's going to be pushing me around in my wheelchair, and I'm going to be like, guys, the drink plan and plus is so worth it.
Brendan,
You and Surya.
People on a motorized scooter.
Yeah.
this is their plan to get rid of
you.
you.
You're going to be going around the park on the little.
Taking people out.
Going up
I
the
would
line
too.
and elevating them.
I get to Windseeker Hill and my motor just gives out. I just go down the hill like full force.
Just rolling back. This is not the rollback I wanted.
Wow, yeah. But I'm just
I would just like to say, I am unbelievably confused with the new pass system. I just so happened to upgrade to Platinum Pass at the utter worst time possible. So with the new All Parks Passport, I have no idea how this works. Like, I get all season fast lane, Does it now go up if I add the all park passport on? It's
Can
confusing.
you do me a favor? I just want to put in a request. I would love if, like, tomorrow during operating hours, you could call Wonderland and, like, record the call and ask them all these questions. And I just want you to then have Brendan post it on the channel. I think that would be a golden conversation.
We've already run into problems. So I was told by Wonderland today that your 2024 benefits on your pass work this year for the first time ever. And that was told by someone high up at Wonderland.
They're not advertising that?
We tried it. So we went to go get a slushie on Surya's Prestige Pass that he bought, you know. He went up to go get a slushie. And they were like, what do you mean? So already there's no communication. And there was no button. I do have it in writing.
I don't even know what a prestige pass was.
Okay. We need to pursue this ASAP.
Yeah, so we're going to try again tomorrow. Can you
the email or text or whatever it is and be like, this is what your boss says.
What is your opinion on the basement of Wonder Mountain becoming a VIP area? What are you going to do? Hang out in the haunt maze? The construction site for our boring wing coaster?
Do you think California's Great America will stay open after the re-theme? What re-theme? What?
Guys, I don't think California's Great America is going to be rethemed.
I think it's being re-themed to an Amazon warehouse.
I will be there Sunday.
Bad story, but true.
After 5 p.m.
It's prime real estate.
Your VIP areas, guys, do not get your hopes up. Like, it's not going to be anything exciting. Cedar Points aren't even exciting. So
it's gonna be Cedar Point's stupid $40 Millennium tent.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. It's the Millennium tent. Yeah.
There you go, Ryan. That's exactly what it is.
Literally a tent, by the way. That is what it is. You're going to be getting a tent. You're going to be spending $2.99 to get into a tent.
Okay, but like
20% off.
I just don't understand how they can say that they're trying to move towards being more of like an immersive theme park, and then put like a Party City tents up, and call it a VIP area. Like, that makes no sense to me.
It's very important. Okay,
it's a circus themed area. You gotta put up the circus tents.
This tent, incredible tent.
Like, they never said what they're theming to. Like, come on, it's a circus.
True.
For the new circus swing coaster.
I'm sorry, somebody said I hope you get an icebreaker clone. That thing is actually intense. Nuh-uh.
I have heard that. I have heard it's intense, isn't it?
Not in my experience.
Well, it was supposed to be a family coaster.
What, icebreaker?
Oh,
Yeah.
guys,
It has more ejector airtime than anything at Wonderland.
Yeah.
did we talk about Wild Beast?
No, we did not.
Not in
Like
detail.
briefly, yeah. We didn't really get into detail though.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I did. I think I did talk a little bit about how if something more is coming for 2024, a Wild Beast Gravity Group refurb is probably all it's at.
Yeah.
And I know, guys, and you know what? It's really hypocritical for what I'm about to say. Like, extremely hypocritical. This is coming from the guy that wanted a mock double launch Extreme Spinner in Frontier Canada. And you know what? I'm holding out. I'm holding out that Wonderland got their survey results for that stupid family wooden coaster, and they were like, oh my god, no one likes it.
It's all trash.
But when I talk about Wild Beast, a lot of people are still sold on the idea that Wonderland would consider an RMC for Wild Beast. And it's not going to happen, guys. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be a Gravity Group at most, and there's even a chance it could be in-house. Okay?
Oh, don't say that.
Like, you're giving me a nightmare by saying that. Don't ever
say that.
around
I'm
me,
having
man.
flashbacks
Please
to
just,
Guardian.
Like, take those words, put it into a little bottle, and just goodbye.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the whole RMC working in Canada. It's just Wonderland's not going to work with RMC, guys, and everything being marked on Wild Beast is showing signs that it's a direct work on the structure that already exists. Like, that certain support columns are staying, that certain parts of the ride are going to be demolished and rebuilt. I know that still sounds like RMC, but trust me, it's a Gravity Group. It's a boring Gravity Group. I'm making it sound worse than it is. It's going to be awesome if it is. but it's just your typical Gravity Group renovation that has already happened in the chain and has received great feedback.
I'm sorry, I need to comment on this because the
about to say,
RMC not working in Canada thing is ridiculous. I have ridden over RMC track in the lovely, sarcasm, province of Montreal, of Quebec.
Monster has RMC track on it.
Literally.
It
But-
has had RMC track on it for a while.
There-
RMC can work in Canada. This entire
Yes and no. Yes and no. I know the full details of it. So RMC can oversee work in Canada. It cannot work in Canada.
What I'm saying is RMC stuff can be put into Canada. It
Yes.
is literally on Monster.
Yeah. Yes, but to a certain extent.
Every time RMC is mentioned in any of these streams, every single stream we have to say this.
I'm sorry, this person called the RMC track on Monster lipstick on a pig. I love that.
But also, you really think Wonderland's going to build an RMC Wild Beast in 2024 without announcing it as the main attraction for 2024 season passes, and then build a 2025 roller coaster? Like, guys, like sometimes, like you, and this is what bothered me too. I saw so many comments that were like, Wonderland needed a coaster in 2024. If you're paying attention, I know that some of you aren't going to believe what I have to say about what's coming, but like I've already been telling you that 2025 is the coaster year, and I'm promising you that 2025 is the coaster year. There's no there's no error there. 2025 is our coaster year, which means that like you are not going to see what you're going to see. What is he looking at?
Every
are you
time.
okay?
No, I'm just trying to see where Wonderland could fit in an RMC, but I think the map's a bit outdated, but...
Like, you see that like that big like water over there, like
Let's see.
close to Italian Job, you know? For people who can't see the text because it's small, this is a 2006 Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Paramount's
Italian
Math
job,
Flash.
yeah.
Yeah, so like you see like that big body of water next to Italian Job stunt track? Yeah, it's like
It
that.
literally doesn't exist.
Hey,
Because
that's
body
the
of
one that
water
my
does not
parade
show?
is
Okay.
in. My parade's in that map.
It is?
The Nickelodeon parade. It's on the right side of the map.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Oh.
I don't know. It should
What
be
if-
RMC, but it won't be. That's all I know.
What
You
if
guys think
art
this would
do-
still work?
Oh!
You should bring it in and try.
Can you still use it?
They'll
gotta
be like,
try.
we have to detach it from your however many year old map.
Oh, Zach, look at this.
Hmm? What's up?
Didn't you make this for me?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was delayed on stream. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I? It's just someone, because that's awkward if someone else made that.
No, I made that. Yeah. I saw it. I was like, awesome. It's there.
But yeah, is there anything else
Like-
I'm missing talking about?
Yes, good gravy at Holiday World.
Good gravy.
I love this ride. This ride looks awesome. I love the theme.
Gee Willikers.
G. Wilkers. I love good gravy. The train is like a gravy boat. I love family boomerangs. There's so much. Brendan, listen, when you ride this thing, I know it's a cloned layout, but when you ride this thing at Kings Island eventually, you're gonna see the light. You're gonna see how much fun family boomerangs are. Okay.
I'm
They're
not
just-
hating on the family boomerang. I'm hating on the
They are
goddamn
fun.
theme.
Okay, hear me out. You know how Hershey Park put the Santa sniffer things in Jolly Rancher Remix? Good gravy. The station smells like the gravy. Then you go through that can of cranberry sauce. You got the cranberry scent.
This sounds so American whitewash to me that like I
This is the most
cannot
American thing.
like
love it.
I
You know-
can't get behind it. Like, and I do not mean to sound controversial on this podcast. I'm sorry, but like really, I get it. It's Holiday World. It's themed to holidays. Okay, I'm probably missing that whole aspect in my review. But good gravy? Did you see the announcement? Like, everyone was... No, because this is where rant number 8 today. Rant number 8. You enthusiasts confuse me sometimes. You'll see Yukon Striker. Okay, our little intro video was cool with the eagle flying, and then it's going up the mountain, and then track is appearing and all that. And then the Americans are like, oh, it could have been better. And thought like it's just not my cup of tea. Yukon Striker, tallest, longest, out and back layout on a dive coaster. Like, what were they thinking? And then a park like Holiday World is like, good old gravy. Granny is. You gotta help her go to the kitchen and get her gravy, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, oh my god, I love it!
10 out of 10.
I love it, 10 out of 10.
Nailed it.
Brendan, this ride is themed to having a nice Thanksgiving dinner with your family. I'm sorry if you didn't have very good family experiences growing up, but this ride is for those of us who did.
No, know what's funny, Ryan? No, what's funny? I forgot that rides here were themed to holidays. I just thought they themed the coaster to gravy for no reason.
That's even better. I just thought they themed it to gravy for no reason.
No, and
it's
it has like
hilarious,
the gravy
personally.
ground in it too, the kids' playground baked into the area. And
Can you imagine the merch? You know what it reminds me a little bit of is how, like, in some ways Knott's doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, you'll go into Knott's and you'll go into one of their stores and you can buy like a real rubber chicken. Like, it's not taking itself seriously in that same way, which I kind of like.
they already have good gravy merch. They have good gravy posters. They're beautiful.
I love it. Isn't it? Aren't they getting what's that company that makes like all these park posters and
Made to
stuff?
thrill.
Yeah, is it one
What's
of those?
going on?
Yeah, here I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
My
Your
favorite
loca-
thing is just the headlines about it. Gravy themed coaster coming to Indiana.
Just the headline, gravy
Gravy
themed. Gee Willikers.
And the fact
Just
that
the
the
headline,
thing looks like
gravy
just a
themed
suburban
coaster.
house. It's fantastic.
This is everything, okay? Like, I love this.
Gotta give them props. Their marketing worked.
It did.
No,
Spot
no.
on.
I
no,
can't.
Brendan, you know what? You're just not
No.
the cool kid club. You just don't like gravy.
I can't get behind that.
You don't like
It's the
gravy?
suburban house for me. That's what really does it. That's the best part.
I just love how the trains are like gravy boats.
Why is my webcam struggling out of nowhere? I didn't even do anything.
Put your hand
It's
up.
the ghost.
And
Its usual appearance.
I'm sorry. I just checked my Discord DMs and I got a message from Jacob saying, "Who is Bob Smith?"
I'm Bob Smith. My first name is Bob and my last name is Smith. That's all
Yeah.
you need to know.
Bob is Bob.
So your name is Robert Smith.
Yep.
Okay.
Brendan's
Like your
camera right now is so...
You know what? I'm stressed.
What is even happening?
No, you're up your camera like...
Live Brendan
Out of
reaction.
control.
I'm doing that. Y'all just can't tell.
I think I fixed it.
Are you good? Like...
Holiday World's always good for adding coasters. Yeah.
Oh, you are biased. You are biased. I call
You've
BS
seen-
right now.
Go look at their lineup and you'll see why I say that.
No,
And
you
I
know.
will-
World.
I will forever say that, and they will keep adding to the great coaster lineup, whether it's in the water park or not. Is
If you think
up
about
for
this,
question.
This is actually though, an amazing addition to their lineup because their lineup is like kiddie coaster and then just like insane wooden coasters and there's nothing in between.
Now they got
So-
Granny's old gravy boat.
Yeah.
Well, the poster is actually iconic.
No, you know what? You know what I'm about to say I do not believe in. I am just mocking this, okay? But my mother is she's gone down this rabbit hole, but I think this coaster plays into that whole conspiracy theory where, you know, people think that the Democrats are kidnapping children in their kids ride and putting them into little gravy boats and then drinking them to keep them younger. So So this is why this coaster's got a whole bad no.
What? I've never even heard of gravy. For real?
Not gravy. They think the Democrats are like vampires or something. And
Oh,
that
yeah, okay.
yeah. So I was saying, instead of, they put the kids in the gravy and the whole vampire thing, yeah.
Is it they're gonna start saying that like they get like locked in?
No, am I the only one who
and
saw
then
Ryan
they take them to
literally
the
rolling?
Twilight Zone.
Did anybody else see this man physically rolling on the floor? He was
Not-
literally.
Not
Rolling
people
on the
joining. Not people
His feet
literally
were up in the
joining
air.
in this moment that I'm talking about vampires. And good old gravy.
This is
I
what
love
happens
the
to amusement insiders once we pass 1 a.m.
It's not Brendan's fault he lives with a conspiracy theorist. He's just extra informed now on what people are believing.
Welcome to Amusement Insiders After Dark, people.
Listen, I find the conspiracies highly entertaining. And I guess if it keeps less kids from going on it, then more space for us.
Thoughts on chemtrails?
Oh, now
We
we're
need a
just getting
chemtrail
right into
coaster.
it.
That's what we need. Let's do a whole theme park that's themed to conspiracy theories. It could be
Agreed.
endless.
Can we just talk about how like the Six Flags Fiesta Texas teasers are all made in Microsoft PowerPoint?
Wait, what?
Have you not noticed? Okay, look at like the newest one for example. This is literally a preset on PowerPoint.
Oh
This
my
isn't-
goodness, you're right.
Go look at like I don't know how you say his name, Jeffrey Stever or whatever. Go look at his like Twitter. Look at the teasers. They are literally Microsoft PowerPoint presets.
And what about it?
Just sent me the best screenshot ever. Oh my goodness, this is going in VCD. This is the best thing I've ever seen.
For free?
You know what, Ryan? I hope the Democrats get you in those gravy boats.
They already have.
That explains a lot.
What else is there that like
Yeah.
we have missed from announcements for like next year? I know as far as Europe goes, Europa Park have announced their new coaster, which we knew about for like the past year. So that's cool. Energylandia
On
have
the
delayed
topic,
Hmm?
on the topic of Europa Park's new coaster, it sounds like they announced the car. Where is this thing's name again? It is.
Voltron,
Yeah, no, but it's Voltron something or other. It's
because it's
What
a
can-
sponsor.
yeah,
It's
it's.
like a Ride to Happiness is Ride to Happiness by Tomorrowland.
I'll find it. I'm nearly there.
Good night,
Yeah.
Jake.
Voltron Rivera. Nevera. The new Chevy Voltron Nevera.
It kind of works.
So,
And
That's-
yeah, Energylandia have delayed their new themed area, Sweets Valley, to 2024. And I think that's all there is for European announcements so far.
no one cares about the European parks, okay?
I'm just trying to inform the enthusiasts, okay?
This is an real American theme park podcast.
I'm an A&W root beer blooded
I'd like to use
Canadian
my
here.
credit card.
This isn't an American. No, I'm not an American channel. Do you not remember I got canceled? My channel used to cover all the American parks, and then I spoke out against Trump. And every single American coaster, that was when I learned the American coaster community is heavily Trump. So I got canceled so hard, and I was told to like go away and disappear. So that's what I.
Part of the community, though. The Disney part of the community is like this weird other.
Of
corner
course,
of it that's like
'Cause-
anti that.
the Republicans tried to get rid of Disney, didn't they?
Kind of. I mean, just Ron DeSantis. He's.
And,
The
and so
funniest part
Disney,
about that is that he got married at Disney, so I think he really just wants to control it.
But-
I love how Disney fought back with like the Disney Pride Nights.
Uh-huh. That was iconic.
But just so y'all know, you guys can vote for whoever you want to vote for. That's not me saying anything. I heavily spoke out previously, and yeah, that's what I was just touching on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the crazies are just the loudest ones. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, I can give you predict. Okay, so I know Oh, it was Jake. Oh, okay. Haunt this year. I leaked things, didn't I, on my story? Did you guys? Patreon's got actual photos.
Hey everyone, this is why you should follow Amusement Insiders on Instagram if you aren't already.
Let me go get some stuff for you guys. I can't show you guys photos, but I can tell you. So it does look already like. Oh, did my post not post?
It did. It's this one, right?
Oh yeah, but my Patreon post.
Don't forget, guys, patreon.com/amusementinsiders or whatever it is.
No, it didn't.
Oh. I did it at Wonderland. It must have been because I had no Wi-Fi. Okay, let me go to photos quickly.
I know somebody did not just ask thoughts on Little Tay. I have no thoughts.
Opinions on Trudeau, Brendan? I can't give my opinions on Trudeau. I'll get canceled because I'm very anti him.
You just gave your opinion. You said I'm
I
not going to give my opinion, and then you gave your opinion.
Kingdom
to be honest, I don't think either the left nor right are fans of him, so...
That's true. Everyone hates him. Okay, so Kingdom of Carnage will be making a comeback this year. Dia... I am going to butcher this. You can cancel me in the comments below. Dia de los Muertos is that kind of Latin, if I'm making
Dios de los Muertos?
Yeah.
Oh, Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead is making a return.
How are you trying to pronounce that?
Okay, we don't need to drag me right now, okay?
It's
My
Spanish.
Spanish side is like...
It's Dia de los Muertos.
Trick or Treat is now Trick or Treat Street. I had heard rumors that Wonderland was going to change it up a bit because there were some weird... Yeah, I'm not going to go into it.
Has one please clip that, by the way, him pronouncing that?
This one's weird. Necropolis is new. My assumption is this is either...
Necropolis.
What? I'm sorry. Necropolis?
Necropolis?
Necropolis.
Necropolis. What is that? Okay. Yo, what is that? What is that theme?
Necropolis.
Okay, what is that?
No. What
Necropolis?
is that? No. Necropolis.
Like a tomb, isn't it?
Yes, it's a tomb.
Yes.
Necropolis.
Necro means dead. Necro, like necro.
Okay, so that is either replacing what used to be Blackout.
Necropolis, City of the Dead. Thank you to Corkscrew Folly for the
Please
translation.
also clip that.
Ancient Greece tombs. Oh, okay, so that's probably going in the basement of the mountain.
Ooh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, Dark Ride, obviously you guys know about that. And that is it. So there was supposed to be one more. There was supposed to be a fourth. So basically what we were told is they were bringing back 4 additional mazes. One was going to be new, Dark Ride. And the others were going to be returning. But it looks like they got 2 new mazes. And just added an old Kingdom of Carnage.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. I can't wait to not do any of them.
What bothers me is Cedar or Wonderland used to do the haunted house to tease their new additions, and they would have the haunted houses would be mailboxes, so you knew, and then the other ones would be like, yeah. So this is gonna be the first year where everything is a face. I'm dropping tea right now, guys. Okay. So everything on the haunted house is a face. So it's been really hard for me to figure out what's a scare zone and what's a house. So these have all been. I know Dark Ride is a house. Necropolis. I don't know if that's a house or a scare zone. That's the one that could go either way. Stop laughing at me.
Brendan, it's one word. It's
That's
Necropolis.
Necropolis.
It's Necropolis. Come on.
I love that so much.
Bro, it sounds like he's trying to say nail polish. Like, oh my god.
The basement, Brady. The basement is always open at Haunt. Dark Ride is not going to be Guardian. Dark Ride is a haunted house at front gate in that steel building. It's themed to as if you're on a dark ride that broke down. So you're going to walk along tracks. It's actually a stolen haunted house from Knott's Berry Farm. And,
Stolen.
essentially, there's like a killer clown in there that's trying to kill you.
Are you telling me this is the only good dark ride we're gonna get at Wonderland?
Right? And then next year, Pumpkin Eater will be at Haunt. So we stole that one from Knott's as well.
I mean, I've heard Knott's has really, really good haunt attractions. So
Yeah, so I'm glad that we're stealing theirs. But yeah, that's all I know for Haunt. I know that that there was supposed to be a new scare zone to better fit in with Tundra Twister. That has been canceled. It was called Mass Acres. It was supposed to be themed to like a mining farm village. That was cursed or something like that, and it's been removed.
Wait, what on earth is a mining farm village?
Mining and
Sorry,
farming. You gotta feed the miners.
Brendan, people are asking if the lives are coming back, if this will be regular again, like it was a few weeks ago.
It will. Okay, so my biggest problem is one. Okay, so truthfully, there is something wrong with me medically. I don't know what it is yet. I got what I thought was a flu, and then I thought it was COVID, and I tested negative for COVID. So then I didn't get better. I was sick for like a week, and I was taking a lot of time off work. So I was like, okay, I gotta go to the doctor. Everything was a symptom of COVID. Like my leg pains, I couldn't get out of bed. My legs hurt. And then everything went away. All my COVID symptoms went away, and it turned into like a really bad lung infection. I still have it. And my lymph nodes get so swollen, and it's not getting better. And my doctor is a horrible person and refuses to understand that I'm struggling with something and refuses to give me antibiotics.
I hope your doctor's watching this right now.
I hope so too. And she tested me for strep. She tested me for COVID. She tested me and everything was coming back negative. So she can't give me antibiotics. That part I understand until they know what's actually wrong. But another friend of mine that I got sick got antibiotics right away, and they're getting better. And here I am with a chronic cough that will not change in its severity. If I laugh, or if I talk too much, and it's annoying, I'll get it randomly when I'm trying to sleep, where I'll cough for like 30 minutes straight, and I feel like I'm about to cough up blood, and it's not going away, and I don't know what else to do. And I also have other symptoms that are TMI that will not go away either, that are starting to become concerning. So I clearly have something, but I'm not getting people sick anymore, and I've been told I can go out about my regular day and that I'm no longer contagious because I've crossed well over that period, but I don't feel better. So yeah.
So are you telling me this is why it looks like you're in a hospital room?
Yes, I'm in an insane asylum. They were nice enough to give me my old podcast things and make me feel like I'm still doing things. But yeah, that's why the channels dropped off the face of the earth, and thankfully for Jasmine and Jake that there's still content. But I'm coming back, don't worry. I guess I'm just gonna have to live with whatever I have right now. I've been back to work and everything, and I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is, but Surya and everyone that knows me can back this up. I used to not sweat. I could wear sweaters at summer and I wouldn't sweat a drop. Ever since I got this sickness, I sweat. Right now, I am sweating in an air-conditioned house. So, yeah, yes, but like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Something's clearly wrong, and I dropped a lot of weight too. So yeah.
The Pharaoh's curse.
So Wonderland infected you because they didn't want you to catch the construction that's starting.
Yeah. So, you know, the one thing I'll give my mom, she's a conspiracy theorist and all that, and she's very against vaccines and all that. She actually nursed me back to health with all natural remedies. And now I'm on probiotics because she thinks I might have like an autoimmune thing. So I'll have to go get checked out for that. But probiotics, she put me on probiotics and vitamin C pills and zinc pills and all this stuff. And when she started doing that to me, that was when I started feeling better and have been able to go to Wonderland again.
Need some of those $16 Wonderland hot dogs.
Yeah, but whatever I eat doesn't stay in me, so I'm like dying, but it's okay.
Dying, but it's okay.
Somebody had asked if the bear in the background has a name, and I say that if it doesn't have a name yet, we should name it Paul, as in Necropolis.
I agree with that. Paul the bear. That is Paul the bear. Sorry, Brendan, it's too late. We've named it. It's Paul the bear.
Were we talking about something, or did I just go on a random rant about being sick without even being
You
asked?
did just go on a random
You
rant
did.
about being sick, yeah.
You did.
So after you croak, can I have the channel?
Absolutely not. What else, are we missing anything before we wrap up?
Should we bring in patrons or patrons if any of them are still awake at the beautiful time of 1:30 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, sure. If anyone wants to join, come and ask a question. You were talking haunt. I was talking haunt, and then I started talking about being sick.
Yeah.
Did that actually happen?
The Curse of the Killer Clown in Dark Ride.
Yeah, so Dark Ride, it's I'm sick.
I'm so
It's
random. And everyone just sat there and listened?
Yeah.
No one shut me up?
We went on a
No.
journey.
Who's screening people? I'm not screening people for
Not it.
Patreon.
Wait,
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
yeah, Zach, that's gotta be you.
Bye-bye.
I'm not sleeping well, Louise. Actually, I've been going to bed at like 4:30 in the morning and waking up at 8 in the morning for work.
Yeah, so I like how the first 4 messages we have are not too nervous. Same, my brother in Christ, it is 1:26 in the morning.
I say we just keep... I say we just keep the stream going into the early hours of the morning.
And absolutely not. I have laundry I have to do for work.
I mean, technically, it already is.
That's true. This is gone. Almost 2 hours, guys.
Ryan, who's the man behind you?
Yeah, I'll go back in VC after this.
That's all.
I have to.
Yeah,
do
so
laundry.
it's like we all agree now that the polar bear behind Brendan is named Paul, right?
Yeah, I think that's a permanent thing now.
Yeah, that's like... Sorry, Brendan, you're stuck at this.
Oh, I know why I was talking about it. Someone had asked if this was going to be a regular thing, and I wasn't talking about honk, guys. I got gaslit.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl.
I forgot, yeah, so like you started talking about that and then you just stopped, so...
Yeah, no,
like
that was my answer though. Is like the
Your
reason
answer was that you are sick?
It's health dependent, I think, is what he's saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
there you
tonight, for example, if we tried to do this last night, I was coughing so much that I couldn't even breathe. Like I was actually about to go to the walk-in hospital to just like I'm so desperate for antibiotics right now. There's clearly like what it feels like to me. Like if I were to honestly figure out, there's something in my lungs, like a fluid, and my body's trying to get it out. Because when I cough, I can feel. And it's not phlegm because you cough up phlegm. There's fluid. I feel fluid that I'm trying to get out. And my lymph nodes, is that fluid as well? When they're inflamed, it's like fluid.
I have no idea what a lymph node is.
And my left ear feels like it is infected, which I've heard could be fluid. So whatever it is, it feels like fluid, which to me, that sounds like a sinus infection, does it not? But that's just me.
Yeah, I know
But
what that means.
yeah, that's just me. I feel
I
like,
would go see a random doctor and be like, my doctor is incompetent. Please help me.
yeah.
Or lie and be like, I don't have a doctor. What are you talking about?
So,
Just get those meds. Do
oh,
what
I
you gotta
forgot
do.
Bob was here.
Yeah, I was gonna say whenever I have those issues, I just go to a walk-in and they'll give me antibiotics within like 5 minutes
Yeah,
of me
it's good.
walking in.
Yeah,
I just-
say your doctor's on
yeah.
vacation or something. They can't neglect you.
I'm gonna find Brendan's doctor and tell him that his patient is talking smack about him behind his back.
You know what though?
Send the link.
The Vox pneumonia. My mom brought up a good point. So I had pericarditis, and when you get pericarditis because it infects your heart sac, you're susceptible to pneumonia. And I was always told if I ever got pneumonia, it would feel like worse than what pneumonia actually feels like, because you become susceptible to pneumonia and the symptoms become worse. So it would actually make sense that it's probably...
Sorry, so you can pronounce pneumonia and whatever the other thing is, but you can't pronounce necropolis?
Necropolis.
I'm so sorry. Was that in everyone's ear?
It was muffled. Necropolis.
Necropolis, oh my gosh.
Necropolis.
Yeah, probably just to go to like a walk-in, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to go in again just because I work in the restaurant industry as a manager, and it doesn't sound healthy when you can hear this cough in the back room through the whole store.
Well, if you get one of those people that's like, I want to speak to your manager, they'll regret it. It'd be funny.
It would be pretty funny, though.
You could start like chain reaction virus among all of the Karens that will spread to other Karens, and eventually you could eliminate them.
Well, my mom got what I have, and it's slaughtering her too. And my mom, and my mom took care of me when I had COVID because I got it really bad the first time, and she never got it, and she handled it like a boss. But this, whatever this was, she dying too.
Ooh, it's coming for the Karens.
But yeah, I feel like I'm ranting about non-coaster stuff. So anything else before we wrap up and then go talk about, our hair up in VC?
What else? What other? Oh, Mount Olympus announced.
Boring. Don't care.
Okay, Mount Olympus. Okay, they trademarked the name Icarus, and I thought it was gonna be a drop tower. And then after I was like, wait, would I want to ride a drop tower at Mount Olympus?
What is Ryan getting? I'm scared.
Oh my gosh. It is a pin board or whatever of all the wonders.
Maps!
Wow,
Wait,
that's
Ryan. Can you show us one of your, what was that really, the Leviathan in the jar? Can you show everyone that in here?
In the jar?
Personally, do not say in the jar. That implies something.
That implies
We're
a
on the
lot that
internet.
you don't know,
That-
Brendan.
You
That
can
implies
say
a lot.
jar.
Which I would not put past Ryan, I'm just saying.
Do not say that. But
It's in a vintage protective display case.
Is this not the
Yeah,
coolest thing
yeah.
ever, guys? Wait, can you hold it? Glare.
it's because the back wall is a mirror. So
That is the coolest thing ever.
let me see. I have an idea. Okay.
Oh
he's
my
gonna
God.
Show us the entire collection.
Oh, it is so cool.
That is very cool, to be fair.
Very nice.
You're giving us like the Michael Bay angles right now. I feel like I'm watching like a movie
I
trailer
turned
from
into
No.
a TikTok edit all of a sudden.
I'm triggered because if you saw, I uploaded a video on TikTok with that same energy, and people were telling me to go die.
It's stupid. I feel like I'm watching like a movie trailer from like 2008 right now.
He made that, guys. Like obviously he did the hand putting together like everyone does, but he hand paste. Ryan, can you go show one of your? Don't show them all because I feel like you could show these. Show one. No, your ones where you actually handcraft from the craft store with the rivers and all that, the
Wait,
landscapes.
We got a lot to choose from. 39.
I really like the
Wow.
Verbolden one. Can you show the Verbolden?
Verbolti Bolt.
That one's so good.
Look at that. He builds those guys. From the hobby store, he gets all those little, like how people build those Warhammer sets and all that. And those train sets.
Here's my new ones. Flight of Fear is so cool.
Flight of Fear is really good.
Yeah. I'd say Verbolten and Loch Ness Monster is some of my best work.
Very talented. I guess that's it, guys. Like, let's end it here on the high note. 2 hours in, and you heard me rant like 8 times, and then talk about my personal life.
Rants are fun. we rant more about B&M?
Anybody else want to get out any rants about B&M before we end?
Well, if we're going on rants here about coast
Ooh.
manufacturers,
Yes.
Ooh.
no.
Well,
Maybe next time.
okay.
I was gonna say don't say too much there.
But if we're talking about parks and executives, I can rant about.
I like that idea.
No, don't get me canceled.
Please get him.
No.
The drama.
Ryan,
the
are
drama.
you good?
boring
Are you
and
good
mild?
right now?
Boring and mundane.
Boring and mild, preferably, but yeah.
Oh man.
Alrighty. I'll be in Discord.
Everybody,
guys.
I'm gonna drop the Discord link in chat. See you guys in the voice channel. Good night, gamers. Peace.
Like the stream. Like the stream.
Bye.